You know, your son, your beautiful son Miguel. Tell us about Miguel. What was he like?
Oh God, I could say a lot. My son Miguel had just turned 18. He just graduated from UIC College Prep. Um, my son was on his way to college. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay, and I'm
After receiving various acceptance letters, he decided upon attending UIC College Prep to become a mechanical engineer. My son Miguel was an intelligent, hardworking young man. While in high school, he joined a work program. When he was accepted to work part time, he worked in the Shedd Aquarium here in Chicago. When he was 16, he started working. Um, Miguel continued to work until he was 18. On the day of his graduation, my son was called for a new job since the COVID hit. Um, he was called to work to join a team of work in my husband's company. He was going to start working as a labor worker for a railroad company. So he graduated there. He was just going around the school. So that day, they called him to start work the next day. As I mentioned before, my son Miguel was a intelligent, respectful young man. Miguel was a big role model for his younger siblings, being the first to graduate high school.
well,
Miguel was also very humble and a kind. He was always putting others before himself. My son always liked to speak to older people and take advice from them. Although, my son had a very busy life, going to school, going to work, he always, thought about his having time with his loved ones, with his siblings and friends. That was my son. My son was an amazing, hardworking young man.
and and
Yeah,
smart too. I mean, you can't have my grades, Catalina, and try to be a mechanical engineer. I can guarantee you that. But what happened on July 18th of 2020?
uh, on July 18, 2020, because COVID hit, my husband said, you guys just should go back to Mexico. We have a home down in Mexico, and he said, you guys just should go. Me and Miguel are gonna work out of the state. My husband was working in the state. My son was working somewhere else. Um, he just got back that Friday from coming back working a whole week out of town. So on July 18th, I received a call that I think nobody should get. I received a call from the stepmom from the girlfriend. Um, she called me and she said, "Oh, the girlfriend was with your son on the phone and she heard some gunshots." Um, so I couldn't even imagine like gunshots and stuff like that. So she said, "Don't worry, I'm like, I can't do anything where I'm at now. I was in Mexico." She said, "No, no, don't worry. We're gonna go check. They share locations, and I'm gonna let you know." So like 15, 20 minutes, she called me back and she said, "Can I get your number?" I gave it to her, and like within a minute or two, a police officer called me, and she told me, "I'm sorry, your son is dead." Um, it's very painful because I was so far away. I wanted to fly and come here fast, and it was just very hard for me, just being so far away, and like they just called me, and my life changed in a second. Um, it's very hard to talk about it.
And Catalina, it's very difficult to listen to it, but it's important because what we're going to do is we're gonna get justice. And so, from what I learned from you, he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Is that right?
Yeah. So he went out that late to see the girlfriend since he had came back from work. So I guess they wanted to see each other. And what I know from the girlfriend is I think he never like made it to her house or something, or he was there and she didn't she didn't reply or something, or didn't come out, and then he just came back. He decided to come back, and I guess he just went in through a wrong street and they shot at him and they robbed him.
So it's unbelievable. They shot him and then they robbed him.
Yeah, so what I know after, he got shot, I guess when he noticed they shot him or something, he tried to go on the car and he crashed right in the Pilsen area. He crashed into a tree, and what I know is somebody came in there and they took his belongings from while he was dying inside the car.
Oh, it's unbelievable, and we grieve with you. Has the killer been brought to justice for the murder of your son, Miguel?
No, nobody's been held accountable for the murder of my son. I do believe that whoever took my son's life is in that neighborhood, because I have gone many times. I have gone out and put flyers with rewards, and I go and put them down like all over the neighborhood, and next day I go and it's like they tear them off, they take them off. So I go again, and I fear for my life too, because I do believe if I'm going into that neighborhood and putting just to see if somebody saw something, and they're removing my flyers with rewards, I think in my killer is in that neighborhood. Whoever took my son's life is in that neighborhood. It's been hard. It's been hard because I am sad. I am broken. They took something very precious from me. My son had his whole life ahead of him. He was just a great kid. He was such a hardworking young man. But I've been working so hard. I just try to find answers, and I want whoever took my son's life away to be held responsible. And I always say, if you could do the crime, you could do the time.
That's right, and that's what we're all here for, Catalina, is to bring justice, because you can't have peace until you know that there's justice for your son's killer.
Yeah, I always say that I have to have my justice so I could have a little bit of peace in my heart, because like I said, and I always say, I'm not going to let this go. My son is not going to be another number to the city. And until God leaves me on this earth, I'm going to continue fighting and pushing my son's justice until this person is held accountable for what he did to my child. Like he took a good kid from me. And I'm not going to let it go.